it's time for practice. So far, in our previous classes, we have discussed in detail about the concepts of selection statements and loop statements. As we have discussed all the concepts, we have to do a thorough practice on these concepts, because as we have discussed in the first video of this section, so the selection and loop structure section, we have discussed it that these concepts are very important for placements. And in order for you to become an efficient programmer in the logical building part, this section plays a very important role. Not only for placements, if you want to be an efficient programmer and if you want to be a great in logical building part, so this section plays a very important role. So for that reason, what we have done is we are going to solve lot number of programs in a sequence from now on. So we are going to solve many programs, and the complexity of the logics that we are going to understand is going to become harder. As we go on, the logics are going to become very complex, and every program we are going to learn a separate logic. So all the logics that we are going to understand, we will discuss in detail. And what we are going to do is we are going to understand the problem statements as usual we are doing in the previous examination, previous lab programs. We are going to do the same, but we are going to have an explanation about cracking the logic, because the logics are becoming very complex. So let's get started with our problem statement, and the problem statement is write a program to sum all the digits in the given number. Given a number, from that number you have to find the sum of all the digits in the given number. So how that can be done? So let's understand by using an example. So let's assume that the user has provided a number. The number is, let's assume that it is 123. Now what is that the program has to do is, from this given number we have to sum all these digits. So the final result has to be 1 plus 2 plus 3. The summation of these numbers is 6. So this is what the program, so this is, for this we have to write the program. So how to crack this? How to crack this logic? So pause this video for a while, try to crack this logic on your own and come back and watch the logic again, so that you can easily understand the concept. And for this to crack this concept, what we have to do is, there are 3 steps involved in this. The first step is, from the given number we have to extract a number. How we can extract the number and what number we can extract? So we can extract a number, that is for sure, but what number we can extract is it the first number, or are we going to extract the number randomly, or we are going to extract the numbers from the last number? So we are going to get the last number from the given number. So how that can be done is, it is done by using modulus division by 10. So what is this modulus division? As I think all of you are aware of this. So just to have a recap about this concept, we will understand the concept of modulus division. So here I'll do the division first. So this is 10, sorry. So here the quotient is 12. So this is going to be 120 and the remainder is 3. So whenever we use this modulus division, we are going to take the remainder. What if we do the actual division? Means if it is 123 divided by 10. So in this case, what we are going to extract? We are going to take the quotient, which is this one. So that is the difference between this division operator and this modulus division operator. So whenever we use modulus division, we are going to extract the remainder. Now in this case, what is the remainder? The remainder is 3. And let's assume that I am storing this value in a digit, in a variable called digit, and the value is 3. This is our first step. The first step is to extract the last number in the given number. I think you understand this. Okay. So the second step is, we have extracted the last number. Now we have to use this number. Now where to use this number? So let's assume that we are having a variable called sum, and the initial value of this sum is 0. Now what we have to do is, we have to store the final sum, right? So for that, this variable sum is going to be used. Now what we have to do is, it is sum plus digit. So what is the digit value? The digit value is 3 and the existing sum value, that is the reason why I have initialized this sum value to 0. So this one is 0 and the digit value is 3. So the summation is going to be 3 and the new sum value is 3. Try to understand this. The existing, previously before this activity, before this step, the sum value is 0. Now it has been changed to 3. Hope you got that point. So this is the second step, and the third step is, so can you guess? We have extracted the number, we have used that number, and we have to remove that number from the existing number. We have to remove the digit from the existing number. So what I mean to say is, so initially the number is 123. We have extracted it and used it, and now we have to remove this number. How can I remove this? So can you get anything from this division? Now what we have to do is, we have to divide the existing number by 10. Now whenever we use this operator, what is that we are going to take? We are going to take this quotient. So what is that quotient? It is 12. So our new number is 12. Now what we have to do? We have to repeat all these 3 steps again. And let's assume that this number is stored in a variable called temp. This number has been stored, the 12 number, after removing the last digit. Now we have to repeat these steps on this temporary variable so that this temp becomes 0. Until this temporary value becomes 0, the loop has to iterate. Okay. So now what we have to do? So again we have to iterate and come back and do all these steps. Now the new number is 12. On this we have to do the modulus division. So when we do modulus division on 12, what we are going to get? So we have to take, so this is going to be 1 time and we have to use it 10 and the remainder is 2. We have to take this number. So the new digit value is, in this iteration, it is 2. Try to understand this. The new digit value is 2. Now the next step is to the existing value of sum. What is the existing value of sum? Previously it is 3. Now to this we have to add the digit. What is this digit value? So which is 2. So now 3 plus 2, the new sum value is 5. So the new sum value is 5. And what is the third step? The third step is we have to remove that last number, which is 12 divided by 10. Now which is going to be, so here it is 1. Okay. So now again repeat this. So is the temp value equal to, so what is the new temp value? The temp value is equal to 1. So is this value equal to 0? No, it is not equal to 0. So now what we have to do? Again we have to do, it is modulus division by 10, which is the remainder is going to be 1. So again what we have to do is we have to add the existing sum. The existing sum is plus and the new digit is 1. So whenever we do modulus division 1 modulus division 10, we are going to get this value. So I think you know all this. So we are going to get this value, whatever the value that is there. If it is 3 mod 10 means it is going to be 3, and in case it is 1 mod 10, so we are going to get this 1 and we are going to add that 5 with 1. So we are going to get a sum of 6. This is our second step. And what is our third step? The third step is we have to divide 1 by 10. So which is going to be 0.1, because all these are integers. We are going to get this value. So this one will get excluded. As we have discussed this logic several times. So here this value is a 0 and now this new value of temp is going to be 0. So when we are going to break that loop, whenever the value of temp becomes 0, we are going to come out of this loop. Now the summation of, at the end, what we have to print? We have to print this summation. So the summation is this 6 and we have to print that. So let's see the program. So this is the explanation for this, logical explanation for this, and here is the program. So I have taken 3 variables, num, it is the number that is given by the user, and the next one is sum is equal to 0, and the next variable is digit, and the next variable is temp. Why I have taken this temporary variable, that we are going to understand, and these are the variable declarations. The second step is user input. Enter a positive number. You have to enter a positive number, and which will get stored. The number that is entered by the user will get stored in num. This is the original number. Because we are going to use it elsewhere in the final printf statements, we are going to use that original number. So that is the reason. So what I am going to do is, I don't want to spoil this number. For that, what I have done is, so I am storing the original number into a temporary variable. So that is the reason I have taken this temp variable. The original number, in order for the original number to remain consistent throughout the program, I am storing that number as it is in the num variable, and I am using the num in a temporary, storing the num value in a temporary variable, and now I am going to write the logic on this temporary number, because we are going to extract the digits from the given number, as the original number may get spoiled if you do these logical statements on the num variable. So for that reason, I am storing that num in a new variable called temp. So now temp not equal to 0, is it true? So this is how the infinite loop, the same logic we have covered, right? So this one is going to be iterate until this temp value becomes 0. And this is one of the very beautiful example for you to understand the use of while loop. Because the number of iterations are totally dependent upon the number of digits in the given number. Why I have taken while? Because I don't know how many number of iterations are done by this loop. So for that reason, I have used this while loop, and we are discussing about these concepts several times. Several times we have discussed about these concepts. So now the temp value not equal to 0. So is it true? Yes, it is true. The temp is not equal to 0. So this is true. We are going to come into this, and the first step, get the last digit of the number. So how we can get that? It is temp mod 10. In that case, let's assume that if it is 1, 2, 3. So the temp mod 10, 1, 2, 3 mod 10, which is going to produce an outcome of 3, and that 3 will get stored in this digit, and the sum is equal to the second step, add the digit to our sum. What is the existing value of sum? It is 0. Now to this 0, I am adding that 3. And the third step is remove the last digit. How can we remove? It is temp is equal to temp by 10. So see here, this is the third step where we are dividing the number by 10, and the result is getting stored in the same variable. Okay, so this is how I have done it. And again, I am going to check the new temp value is 12. Is temp not equal to 0? Is it true? Yes, temp is not equal to 0. It is true. So we are going to get in. Once the temp value is equal to 0, then we are going to fail. This while loop is going to fail, and we are going to come out of this loop. And so now the new temp value is 12. Again, we are going to apply all these 3 steps. So that is the beauty of loops. If the same work has to be done several times, so that can be done by using loops. Okay. So now again, the operator, which is modulus operator, temp mod 10. Again, the same thing, 12 mod 10, which is going to produce an outcome of 2, and the new 2 will get stored in a digit, and the sum, existing sum value, which is 3 in the previous iteration. So that 3 plus 2, which is the new digit, it is going to be stored in sum again, and again the same thing will get iterated, and after the 3 iterations, the temp will become 0. Now we are going to come out of this loop, and the final output is going to print like this. So this is the sum of the digits in the given number. So in the given number is %d, which is num. So this is the reason why I am storing the actual value, the original value, in a temporary variable. So here I am using the num value. Once you do all these operations on this num instead of this temp, we are going to lose this number, right? We are no way having the original number. So that is the reason why I have used this temporary variable, and the use of these temporary variables will be done frequently in our later coming videos. And this is logically understanding. So this point is very logical to understand, and the variables are num and sum. So that is the outcome. So let's check the output. So how that will get printed. So here is the output. enter a positive integer. I am going with this 1, 2, 3, the previous example. Here, the sum of the digits in 1, 2, 3 is 6. So let's experiment with another variable. It is 4, 5, 6, which is 9 plus 6, which is going to be 15. So let's see the output. See here, the sum of the digits in 4, 5, 6 is 15. So that is how we can do the sum of all the digits in the given number. So that's it for this video. So we'll come up with another logical part in the next video, next lab program. So that's it for this video. See you in the next class.